Okay, good evenings and good afternoons and good mornings. My name is Mengu. I have two affiliations right now. Kyushu Institute of Technologies, Kyushu, Japan, we call the QTech, and another one is the Chiba Institute of Technologies, which we call the Chiba-Tech. That is located in Narashino, Chiba Prefecture. It is east side of Tokyo area. So now I'd like to give you some overview of JCube. So first of all, JCube is a collaborations between JAXA and UNISEC. And we try to help emerging space nations so that they can have their CubeSat deployed into low Earth orbit by ISS. Yes, because we are going to use KiboCube. Sorry. Kibo modules. Kibo modules, which is operated by JAXA. Yes. And okay. There is a KiboCube initiatives that is managed by JAXA and UNUSA, United Nations Office of Outer Space Affairs. Okay. Another one, JCube. It is a JAXA plus UNISEC. UNUSA has no part. United Nations has nothing to do with this one. Okay, this is purely a Japanese domestic initiative, JAXA and UNISEC. Okay, KiboCube, JAXA plus UNUSA. And you may be well aware of this KiboCube because the United Nations and JAXA are making big propaganda at every IAC. So it is a zero cost opportunities. It is a competition based, and basically it's for free launch opportunities. Or in Japanese sayings, there is nothing more expensive than free. So although it is saying free, yes, yes, psychologically it's not free. Yes. Okay. JAXA UNISEC initiative JCube. It's a low cost opportunity. Yes, you have to pay. You have to pay. Okay. And the difference. So I put a QR code for both official website. Difference is yes, launch price. JCube, not free, but much lower than the market price. I'll show you a comparison later. KiboCube, yes, free. You don't have to pay anything. Okay. Size, actually it is very big difference. KiboCube is 1U. JCube is up to 3U. So if you are making 3U CubeSat or 2U CubeSat, I think this is definitely, it's a good opportunity. Selections, KiboCube, as you know, it's very competitive. I don't know what the competition rate, but I can say it's a very, very competitive, yes. And JCube, yes, basically, I cannot say it's a first come, first serve, but it will be reviewed by the selection committees, and basically not much of competitions. Well, if there are more applications than available slot, basically we decide by the order application was submitted. Okay, so that means it's a first come, first serve. Requirement, both capacity building purposes. Well, JAXA is using their own resources to assist this initiative. Basically, JAXA is paying. And why? Because they want to promote peaceful use of outer space and by international collaborations, especially capacity building for emerging countries, so that many more countries enter the space sectors and more diverse, the space is more diversified and more democratized. Then we'll have a more good way of using space. And so it's a capacity building. Yes. And another requirement for JCube, yes, you have to team up with the Japanese university. For KiboCube, you can do alone. Of course, you can work with a Japanese entity, or you can work with other entity like in Europe. I think in the past there are some country worked with a European company. Uh, Basically, that's okay. But for JCube, another purpose is to promote Japanese space education. So requirement is a Japanese teaming up with Japanese university. In in both cases, it will use ISS Kibo modules. So satellite will be released from this port attached to the robotic modules of Japanese modules. I think the Yoshizaki-san after who talk after my presentations should explain more technical detail about this deployment method. It's basically CubeSat up to 3. Okay, and so typical flow is that first of all, if you want to use these schemes, contact UNISEC. This is QR code. It starts by contacting. Simply send the email. Okay, and UNISEC try to find Japanese partner. Of course, you can find Japanese partner by yourself. It's okay. It's okay. And but if you have no idea, no relationship with Japanese university, you can just ask UNISEC. Okay. So we do the first contact between Japanese partners and you. We make a first contact. And meetings remotely or in person. And there are lots of many remote meetings and many exchange of emails. So we use all kinds of opportunities, such as UNISEC-Global meetings or ISC or even some direct visit to each country. So we define a statement of work, which we call SOW. So this statement of work write down what to do in collaboration and the responsibility of each party. Okay, so basically we define kind of in ICD. So we define which side do what, something like that. Sorry. And if money exchange is involved, of course this is not a free launch. Somebody has to pay. So if the foreign side will pay or cover some part, money must be moved from your country to Japan. For that one, we need a contract. And money must be transferred. And if no money transfer is involved, there are some cases, no money transfer is involved. So just a simply MOU is okay. But anyway, you need to have some kind of written agreement, not just email, more than email, not more than just a shaking hand. you need to write down. That's why you need this SOW defined. So actual work start, or student may come to Japan as full-time grad student or research visiting student, or there are some exchange of visit. And satellite launched and operated. And after that, once the team will discuss on what to do in next. So we really hope these collaborations will be continue and move to the upper stages step by step. Not for just one shot. So what the Japanese university wants as a partners. So universities are not launch brokers. Okay, we are not a space BD, we are not ICs, we are not X launch. So we are not doing for money. And we expect returns in other ways, such as students or papers. And we want to leverage these international collaborations to promote globalization of university research educations and campus. Or Japanese university may simply want to lower the launch cost by sharing their foreign partners. So for example, uh, Japanese universities are buildings 1U-cube fund, but launch cost is a bit expensive. So they find another partner, foreign partners, and they make it 2U-cube fund. And each party share, split the launch price. Still, it's much, much cheaper than a commercial launch. So anyway, please note that you are not dealing with the launch brokers. Okay. So if the money transfer occurs in JQ, the contract between the foreign entity and Japanese university is necessary, and the contract is legally binding. You need assistance from the legal sections of your organizations. And the point in the contract, I did this contract many times at the QTech. So these are some points to be noted. Non-military use. It's very difficult for Japanese universities to collaborate with the military sections of a foreign country. Yes, please understand that one. So it must be peaceful use. And yes, and UN registration and export controls and payment due and payment currency. It is usually in the yen. I think it will be good for you because yen is very weak now. But anyway, so those points should be in the contract. Of course, UNISEC will assist this contract making, especially Japanese partner, because we have a lot of experience, and so we can assist Japanese universities to make a contract. And the best is you follow the template of us. So suggested schemes. There are several schemes. So good collaboration schemes is a joint development of CubeSat. So there is student exchange through the project. Students, both Japanese and non-Japanese, learn how to work with people from different cultural backgrounds. The satellite shown here is examples which I show you later. That's a Chiba-Tech satellite. For other good schemes, satellite is built outside Japan, but the students come to Japan for study. So they learn satellite development, testing, operation by hands-on in Japan. Also, they serve as liaisons with the home countries. And the satellite is built in Japan by students coming from abroad. And so they learn the satellite development, testing, operation by hands-on. This is the case of our projects. Yes. So I strongly suggest it involves some exchange, human exchange. So that it can make the collaborations better and more fruitful. So some example, this is Maya 5, Maya 6, made by Philippines. So although it was a bit difficult during the pandemic, students came to Japan and they worked in Japan for the final integration. It was deployed and already finished. It already deorbited. And yes, it worked. This is NAXA 2. I think Dr. Ponston will explain about this one later. It is ready for flight. Yes, actually, it will be delivered next week to Jackson. And this one, this is a new satellite. This is the Momiji, which is built in collaboration between Chiba Institute of Technologies and Bhutan, Bhutan GovTech and Bhutan's University College of Science and Technologies. This is 2U CubeSat And Bhutan will provide one of our mission payload. And Bhutanese students, they just came last week from Bhutan, and they are working on the satellite. So they are developing PCB and mission payload in Bhutan. So they brought that to Japan. This one doesn't include any money transfers. Uh, because Bhutan side just contribute one PCB. It's too much to ask the Bhutan side. So Chiba said, okay, okay, by having you, we can use this JKIB schemes. So it's a kind of win-win situations. Also, we are very keen to, Chiba is very keen to work with Bhutan. Yes, I think it's in agenda of schools. So they want to have some collaborations, in much wider collaborations, not only space, but economic and other science and technologies between Chiba and Bhutan. So that's why we could ask schools to help this project. So there are many schemes. Sometimes you don't have to pay if you piggyback on a Japanese satellite project, so you can contribute to the payload. Or sometimes you can make satellite at your side and the Japanese partner will join. So CubeSat launch method, so that's cost. Okay, let's say CubeCube, free. Government free piggyback, such as Vega, Epsilon, Elana. It's free, it's competitive, and it's not accessible from other countries. So if you are not in Europe or if you are not in the US, forget about this. And other free launch, I think through the United Nations, there are some other free launch opportunities. Yes, it's free, it's competitive. And commercial launch, such as the Falcon 9 Electrons for 1 year, $100,000, or I think right recently it's slightly cheaper than this one. And commercial ISS, such as Space BD, MBA, or Nanorag, it's around 60,000 USD or less. Yes, something like this. JCube for 1 year. For 1 year, it's about 1/3 of this commercial ISS launch compared to this one. Compared to this one, it's about 1/3. And there will be more cost advantage for bigger size, such as 3U. I think it may go to even 1/5. So if you are thinking of making a 3U CubeSat, I think it's very good. Yes. For 3U, you can share the 1U volumes with other part. Yes. So there are many cases. Yeah. So, but you have to think about pros and cons of ISS deployment. Okay, pros, it's lower cost than rocket launch. JCube is even lower. Regular launch schedules, or sometimes I think recently launch schedule is a kind of it's not a periodic. Yes, sometimes in a one quarter there are many launch. In a one quarter no launch at all, or something like that. Anyway, there were 3 or 4 launches per year at least. And moderate launch environment moderate, and non-shock test, and orbit is fixed, so it's easy for your frequency coordination. You can just simply say 51 degree, 400 kilometer. Cons, low altitude. It limits orbit lifetime. Well, last year we launched, we used 1U CubeSat. It stayed only 4 months. I think this year is probably the worst. But if you apply now and launch in 2028, 2029, I think lifetime is longer. I think for 1 year CubeSat, probably you can stay 1 year. If you do 29 or something, yeah. But the more strict safety requirement, yes. So you have to be careful. So also JCube opens the door to the international collaboration. For application process, find a Japanese partner. If you know nobody, ask UNISEC for matchmaking. Yes, UNISEC will do. So write the email. Define the project detail with the Japanese partner and sign a contract or MOU and submit a JCube application through a Japanese partner. Or this is submitted by Japanese partner. So you don't have to write application, but a Japanese partner will ask lots of questions to you. Application deadline for this year is December 12, 2025. But as you said, it's kind of fast come, fast serve. So if you apply earlier, you have more chance. You should, however, note, everybody knows that the end of ISS operation is approaching 2030. And so there will be a time limit for deployment. For some of cube and the JCube, it is taking long time. So if you if it takes too much long time, there may not be ISS anymore. So you have to be quick. Also, capacity of the next year may be reduced, and so I strongly suggest to apply this year. So if you have some idea of this year, so get the money, and even if you don't get the money, or find a Japanese partner. So for consultations, for official matter, contact UNISEC. But for very, very preliminary matters, such as these missions feasible or some things, you can also contact CubeSat Salon. CubeSat Salon is also a similar framework. It's a QTech and JAXA and the UNISEC initiative. So it is open for the overseas consultation. So you can just contact us. If it becomes specific to JCube, we refer to this UNISEC. Okay. So for conclusion, two key words: low cost and collaboration. Then think about JCube. I think that's it. Thank you. If you have questions, ask me later.